Alright, it is time to talk about Jenova life. Here is how this fight is going to go. First, we're going to big guard with Cloud. Then, we're going to death sentence Tifa. And then we're going to hold time on Tifa. So that means that, like, Jenova is going to get the first attack, right? All three of our characters' ATB bars are going to fill up. And during Jenova's turn, we're going to queue up Big Guard. We're going to queue up Death Sentence on Tifa using Sid. And we're going to hold time on Tifa. Because remember, Tifa has the Power Soul. And now that we have learned the enemy skill Death Sentence, we can now unlock the true potential of the Power Soul, which is that it deals double damage when she's in critical health and quadruple damage when she is in Death Sentence, and they stack together. And on top of that, Death Blow does double damage as well. So Death Blows, under those circumstances, deal 16 times the damage, the normal damage of a Tifa attack. So, everybody's ATB bars fill up. We immediately queue up Big Guard with Cloud, Death Sentence Tifa with Sid, and then Tifa's going to hold time. Then, with everybody's ATB empty, because all the turns played out, and now Jenova, Cloud, and Sid's ATB are all empty because the queue has emptied out, and we've been holding time the entire time, we put through Tifa Molotoving herself in order to assist her getting into critical condition. Right when we put that through, Sid and Cloud's ATB bars are going to fill up, and we are going to queue up a cross slash with Cloud, which is going to get prioritized in the queue, and we're going to be fast enough to do it during the Molotov animation, so then the cross slash will paralyze Jenova before her next turn, and at that point, we are holding time. We queue up the cross slash, and then we hold time on a Molotov on Sid. So now, if Tifa started at full health, then the second Molotov on her from Sid is going to put her into critical. If Jenova attacked Tifa already, then throw this Molotov at Jenova instead. Because then we're going to do what we call an advanced weight trick, which is where we're going to abuse the weight frames of the Molotov animation in order to make sure that we can switch from Tifa's item menu up to Death Blow without wasting any ATB. And then at that point, we weight trick the Death Blows using changes. And so here's what I mean by that. Tifa last used a Molotov. So when we put through this Molotov on Tifa from Sid after Cloud's cross slash, that means that Cloud and Tifa, their ATBs are going to fill up. And you're going to hold time right when, in order to maximize weight frames, instead of going up to Death Blow and then selecting it to hold time on Death Blow, you just hit circle right away on Tifa's menu, item menu, and then when the fwom of the Molotov is happening, those are frames where the game is in wait because of an animation, so you can exit Tifa's item menu and go up to Death Blow without that releasing time, and then queue up the Death Blow and then hold time with Cloud. So, the big strokes of the fight are Big Guard, Death Sentence Tifa, Tifa holds time, then she Molotovs herself into a cross slash, which paralyzes Jenova. Then we throw a Molotov on either Tifa if she needs it, or Jenova if Tifa's already critical. Then Tifa Death Blows with Cloud holding time, and from then on we do a weight trick that could go on forever. As long as Jenova's paralyzed, but it's only going to take a couple more Death Blows and Jenova's going to be dead because these Death Blows are going to be beefy. And all of this is only if she does not open with Aqualung, which has a 25% chance to happen. So hopefully she doesn't open with Aqualung here, and I can show you everything that we just discussed. Here we go. The way this tutorial has been going on so far, it's going to be Aqualung. It's Aqualung. Okay. I would love to teach you the backup for Aqualung, but we have to do that later because otherwise it'll be way too much information overload. So let's try again. Let's not get Aqualunged, and we'll talk about Aqualung later. So by the way, one little tip there is that death sentence is 3 pages down on the enemy skill. So if you're looking for death sentence, you go into E skill and hit R1 3 times to get right down to death sentence, and then in this fight, it's gonna automatically target Jenova, and it's just a down input to get to Tifa. So there we go. Here comes the big guard. We are holding time on Tifa with this Molotov as everything else happens. Death sentence got a critical. That's pretty cool, I guess. So now, like I said, we're going to put in this Molotov on Tifa, and then it's going to be Molotov on Tifa. Cloud and Sid's ATB bars are going to fill up, and then it's going to be cross-slash with Cloud, which is going to get prioritized, and it's going to paralyze Jenova, and we're holding time with Sid after we cue that. So here we go. Boom. Cross-slash, open the item menu with Sid. Now, it's going to be Molotov on Tifa, and instead of going straight to Death Blow, we're going to open the item menu with Tifa, just until the fwum of the Molotov happens, at which point we are going to promptly exit, go up to Death Blow, and queue it up, and then hold time on Cloud. So, boom, boom. Okay, that was a little bit awkward because Cloud is actually faster than Tifa, so I had to triangle over to Tifa when I realized that it wasn't on her, so that was a little tricky. But okay, we got a Death Blow. And now, this here is like the weight trick. The weight trick, this is a strat that is hugely important for all of the Tifa bosses, is we now have 3 party members to weight trick with, and so we kind of go back and forth with the party. It's going to be, I'm going to queue up a change with Cloud, the reason being that does a little animation that pauses before it empties his ATB, and when we put that through, though, these other 2 characters' ATB bars both start filling up. Tifa is a little bit faster, so hers is going to fill up faster. So we're holding circle so that her death blow queues up as soon as possible. And after it queues up, we open the menu with Sid. And then after we've done that, Cloud's animation will finish. His ATB bar will empty. Tifa will do her death blow. Her ATB bar will empty. And we will have reversed the weight trick, you know? And that's why I like Tifa in the middle, is because it goes back and forth between Cloud's holding time, Sid's holding time, Cloud's holding time, Sid's holding time. So here it is in action one time. Also, I delay like 1/3 to 1/2 of the ATB bar before I put the change in to make sure that it delays it emptying out enough. So here we go. Boom, boom, boom. Just like that. I held circle to queue up the death blow and then opened the item menu with Sid. And you see how now we're in the exact same position, except now Tifa got in a death blow and Sid's holding time. So what this achieves is the only time where ATB is flowing is when Tifa is getting ATB. And so this is how we are maximizing the amount of death blows that we get with the paralysis. And then this is also the same concept that we're going to use later, just in order to get her 2 turns every turn. So again, back out, change, queue it up, hold time. Oh, except remember that problem where Cloud is faster than Tifa on this run? Luckily we're done here. And that's the Jenova fight. So, let's show it again here just a little bit faster. So you just got to do all that menuing during Jenova's turn. Queue up the big guard, queue up the death sentence, get into Tifa's item menu. All during Jenova's turn so that her ATB bar is empty now. Alright. Now. Put in the Molotov. Cross slash, hold time in the item menu. Hold time on Molotov on Tifa. There we go. And that's the fight. Yeah, another critical death sentence there. Does the dexterity from the steel matter for her being faster? Yes. A character with higher dexterity gets faster ATB, so the fact that Tifa is still slower than Cloud here is kind of surprising. But I don't think that that's going to last long, because Cloud's level 20, she's level 18 right now, but after this fight, Cloud's level 21, and she's level 20. Cloud only leveled up once, she leveled up twice from that fight, so hopefully she'll be faster than Cloud now. Alright, so we gotta talk about what to do if Jenova Aqualungs. So now, the thing is, that Cloud big guards, you start out this fight with Cloud big guarding. Even if you're getting Aqualunged, you still big guard with Cloud. And then, ideally, you're looking at death sentence. You're looking at death sentence, and then Tifa holds time on a Molotov, on herself with a Molotov, right? But if you're queuing up this big guard and you're getting Aqualunged, you got to do the backup. Now, this backup can be done a little bit more simply if Tifa has enough dexterity. But if Tifa rolled minimum dexterity, then she's not fast enough to do this backup unless you do it exactly as it's itemized here. If you do it exactly as it's itemized like this, then you will leak as little time as possible, and you can still defeat Jenova during the cross slashes freeze time. It still sucks. Getting Aqualung still sucks. It'll still lose you time, but if you do this exactly, you will lose minimal time. Now, again, it's very complicated. But you have to do it this way to be sure that you can do it and that Tifa's not too slow. So here's how it works. Cloud big guards, you get Aqualunged, right? And then the thing is, Cloud is invincible because he has the water ring on and all of her attacks are water-based. So on Cloud's next turn, what you do is you just Phoenix down Sid. Then what we're aiming to do is Phoenix down Sid, Phoenix down Tifa, big guard the party, cross slash, and then death sentence Tifa and get the death blows in. But there's a bunch of little things in there that you need to do in order to make sure that you're not leaking any time. For example, after you Phoenix down Sid, Cloud is hasted and Sid isn't. So Cloud's going to get his ATB back right away. So you might be tempted to hold time with Cloud right away and then Phoenix down Tifa. But no. You gotta wait for Sid's You gotta wait for Sid to get as much ATB as possible before you hold time. Then, while you're holding time on Cloud, you have to see if Jenova's just going to kill Sid again. And if she kills Sid again, you just have to Phoenix down him again. You got to go back, right? But when she doesn't kill Sid, and you held time with Sid with as much time as possible on his ATB bar, then you put through the Phoenix down on Tifa and hold time with Sid as early as you can, which is very little time because you waited for his bar to be as full as possible. That's why. It means that on this step, when you hold time with him right away, you spent as little time as possible doing that. Then, once Cloud's ATB empties from Phoenix downing Tifa, and she's revived and her ATB is empty, you then put through a big guard with Sid, and now once again, Cloud's ATB is going to fill up, and you could put in his cross slash right away, but don't. You got to wait for Tifa's ATB to go as high as possible, then put the cross slash through. Then we've got the weirdest part of the whole thing. You want to hold circle to queue up just an attack with Tifa, and the reason is because we need to do an advanced ATB trick later, which an advanced ATB trick is where you hold time using a spell animation. So normally, you can only hold time in a menu, right? And then you release time by doing the action. But what if the action that you want to do right away is on another character? Well, that's going to happen here. We're going to have Sid death sentence Tifa, and then Cloud's menu is going to come up first. But we need to hold time immediately so that we don't leak any paralysis time from the cross slash. But guess what? The death sentence animation itself has wait frames. So you can use the wait time, the holding time of the death sentence animation to flip over to Tifa's menu, queue up a death blow, and then hold time with Cloud again. So that way you can switch to Tifa, queue up a death blow, hold time with Cloud without leaking any ATB because time is held under death sentence during that time. However, that only works if you did this seemingly useless Tifa attack. I don't know why. You can ask anybody, and nobody will be able to tell you with 100% certainty why this is, but it will only work if you attacked with Tifa right here. So that was way too much information. Allow me to show it to you, all right? Here is an example where we're getting Aqualunged. So, we're starting the fight like normal. I'm going Cloud. He's gonna big guard. Oh no, we're getting Aqualunged. So, just chill out. Let Cloud's big guard go off so that he gets hasted. Then, he's just gotta Phoenix down Sid. And now here's where you're tempted to hold time right away, but don't. Wait for Sid's ATB to freeze. And then she killed Sid again, so we just got to do it on Sid again. But again, Cloud is hasted, Sid's not. Wait for Sid's ATB to freeze. There it goes. Now hold time. And okay. So now that we've seen that Sid's not dying again, we're gonna put through the Phoenix down on Tifa, and then immediately hold time with Sid. Don't even worry about what menu you're in with Sid. Only hold time right away. So, boom, holding time with Sid until Tifa's awake. Because now we need to menu down to E skill, but you don't want to menu down to E skill during the Phoenix down animation because you want Tifa to get ATB during every moment, you know? So, wait until then, right? Wait until she's up, then menu down to E skill, because that took a little bit of time, but check it out, Tifa got ATB during that time. Then, put through your big guard, and you're tempted at this point, you'll be tempted at this point to queue up Cloud's cross slash right away, but again, don't. Just like you waited for Sid's ATB to fill before going back into Sid's item menu, now we need to wait for Tifa's ATB to refill before putting in the cross slash. There it is. So now, cross slash. Now is that weird hold circle on Tifa. Boom. Then, this is the weirdest part. So we held circle to attack with Tifa, and then immediately held time with Sid again. And Sid is in his E skill menu because he just big guarded, and now it's time to death sentence Tifa. Now this is the part. This is the advanced ATB trick. This is something we're going to talk about later as well, but this is the advanced ATB trick where you use an animation to hold time. So the deal is, when we put through this death sentence, Tifa's ATB is going to refill, but it's going to be too slow to triangle over to Tifa, cursor down to death blow, put the death blow through, wait for Cloud's menu to come up, then hold time with Cloud. That's going to leak too much time. Instead, what's going to happen, what we're going to do is when we put this death sentence through, because Cloud has full ATB, Cloud's menu is going to come up right away. And what we do is the moment, just like with Demon's Gate, right, where you have to time those menu presses the moment that someone else's ATB gets filled. Remember with Fury Tricking, it's like the moment that Cloud's ATB filled, you opened Kate's menu to hold time. We're basically going to do that. We're going to hold time in Cloud's menu right when Tifa's ATB bar fills. And then we're going to use the death sentences animation to flip over to Tifa, put through the death blow, hold time again with Cloud while the animation is holding time. When is the animation holding time? When the skull is visible. So, let's show this here. Let's show this, all right? Put it through, hold time. Skull visible, flip over, death blow, hold time. Did you look? Did you see right here? Did you see right here that there was no time, that no frames were wasted? This time I'm gonna do that moment of the fight again. I'm gonna do right now, but this time I want you to be looking at this right here. All right. Look at that wait. I'm menuing and I'm back in Cloud. Did you see that there were no time was spent? That is the advanced ATB trick. And another thing about it, one more thing about it, is that, again, that will, in this particular circumstance, that wait time will only occur if you did an attack with Tifa at this time. If you didn't do this, it'll release time even though you're in that part of the animation. Okay, so now that we're through that much, now Tifa has death blown one time. Now we have to do the double defend wait trick, which is normally, I talked about doing lane changes because I like lane changes because they make it so that you don't have to do like the double defend nonsense. They stall a little bit of time before the ATB empties. Problem is that does technically leak a little bit of ATB. And so, normally, if your Tifa is fast enough, that won't matter. But, again, just in case she is very slow, we have to do it this way. Which is, we're going to do a defend. And, a defend into holding circle, just, for the wait trick for that time. So, I defended with Cloud, and then held circle all the way until Tifa went for her death blow, and we were in a menu with Sid. And so now that gets her that death blow as early as possible. Now the problem is that we've got two characters that we need to defend with. And this is what I hate. It feels super yucky to have to defend with two characters, but you have to do it. Defend, hold circle. And right there, it didn't even work. I screwed something up. Probably because of probably with all this talking I'm doing. Let's try to do it all right in a row without me over-explaining everything. And we'll see if I can get it. Alright, so we do have like a minimum dexterity Tifa here, so this is as hard as it can possibly be in a run. So let's show it a little bit faster now. And the thing about the how I messed up that double defend at the end is that, like, I swear to you, it feels extra yucky on emulator. It's double defend isn't so bad on PlayStation. Okay, so we waited for Sid's ATB to go as high as possible before going into this Phoenix down. She didn't kill him, so now immediately hold time with Sid. Then down in big guard, wait for her ATB to go as full as possible, then put in cross slash, hold circle, And the spots where you can lose time, the spots where you can leak ATB, is you have to consider that right now is when her paralysis is ending, or is starting. And so the spots where you can leak time to make this not work is firstly getting into Sid's menu right here. So what I would suggest is you hold circle through Tifa's attack and to open Sid's menu, but you need to be careful about releasing, right? You need to release circle before you accidentally queue up a second big guard. So, boom, like that. So, that was tricky. It selected the big guard, so that was a little scary. And then the other time that you can leak time, and I think this is what went wrong last time, is when we hold time when Tifa's bar fills up. When you got to hold time as early as possible, right? When her bar fills up here. So release and boom. Hopefully that was good enough. All right, put in that death blow. Okay, defend. Double defend. Whoo! And I think it went through. It's a little tough to see, because she'll get as long as you're okay at it, Tifa will get the attack. The thing that's so tight is whether Jenova is still paralyzed. So I think now we got to show one more from the top. So it's Jenova. I'm big guarding. Oh no, she's aqualunging. All right, so here comes the big guard. Then item. Put through the Phoenix down on Sid. Wait for Sid's ATB to freeze before going back into Phoenix down on Tifa. See if she's hitting Sid. She's not, so put through the Phoenix down and hold time with Sid immediately. Once Tifa's back up, down to E-skill, big guard, wait for Tifa's ATB to freeze, put through the cross slash, you can just queue it up. At this point, you start holding circle. Hold circle all the way until Tifa has attacked and Sid is in his E-skill menu. There we go. Death sentence, and then hold time right when Tifa's bar fills, even though you're holding time on Cloud. Boom. When you see the skull, triangle over. Down 2 to death blow, hold time with Cloud. Then, defend. Hold circle, get into his menu. And then, defend, there it goes. And that's the strat. The thing to be super wary about, super wary about, and this is what makes double defend feel so yucky, is that you'll notice like the menu is really snappy and you can just like go down and like flip between these really fast, right? But you can't defend by hitting right circle at that same speed. You have to like, if we frame advance, I'm holding right, boom, you see it goes over, but you can't select it yet. You have to wait 1 extra frame, 2 extra frames, 3 extra frames, 4 extra frames, 5 extra frames. You have to wait for this menu to open, right? Before you hit circle. Otherwise, it's gonna wait for like, the Windows or general typing thing where when you hold a key, it waits for a second and then starts rapid pressing it. The circle button does the same thing in battles. And so if you hit circle too early, you have to wait for that to kick in, for it to actually take the circle input. Or you have to perfectly wait those just few frames before hitting it. And so you have to exercise like a little bit of patience on your defend timing, in order to get it right. And that's why I usually don't do double defend and I instead do the change rows strat. But like I said, specifically for the Aqualung backup, just in case you have a slow Tifa, you have to do it exactly this way, and you have to do the double defend in order to lose 0 frames and get that backup in there. All right? All right. Okay, so when this happens, I guess this is a perfect time to talk about the other backup, which is that if Jenova just keeps on killing Sid, you need to have a certain number of Phoenix Downs for the rest of the game. I would say once you get down to like 5, here's the deal. I mentioned that Cloud cannot die in this fight, and he also has the Yoshiyuki equipped still, which does double damage for every dead party member. So the super easy, foolproof backup strat for this fight is to change rows with Cloud, and then just hold circle and wail on her. Or you could even hold circle, or 666. You could even not attack her and just wait for her to run out of MP. So you've got 2 options here. You can wail on her with the Yoshiyuki, right? Which the problem with doing that is that Sid and Tifa won't get the experience from this fight, which is bad later. The other thing that you can do is if you sit here for like a minute and a half, then she will just run out of MP. And at that point, you can get the party up and then wail on her, and then they still get experience. So this is kind of devastating for a fast run, right? But like, you know, especially for when you're just starting out, or if it's just not the worst thing in the world to lose a minute and a half to 2 minutes. As you can see, she just runs out of MP. And at this point, use 2 more of your Phoenix Downs to get the other party members up. Perhaps, or at this point you would death sentence Tifa. Sorry, I'm going real slow here because I haven't done this in a while. But yeah, now you can death sentence Tifa. She hits for quite a bit of damage each time, and she will take Jenova out pretty quickly here. Also, if you didn't use Cloud's cross slash, you could also opt to just cross slash her now and then do the death blows, and that would be super quick also once you've gotten everybody up. But yeah, so the problem with what just happened though is we don't have an opportunity to get more Phoenix Downs for a long time, and you're most likely going to require 2 Phoenix Downs after the Schizo fight. So, I would say only go down to like 5 and then use the last 2. Nice typo, by the way. And then use the last 2 once she's out of MP, if you're doing that backup. So that's one of the backups. Just wait for her to run out of MP. Without Aqualung, as long as you execute, it is it's quite an easy fight. But you know, it's one of those fights you got to do right on script. And, 25% chance that she Aqualungs you. But alright. So, after those 2 text boxes, you now get a bathroom break here for this quite lengthy cutscene right here.